guys, Kristal here with not Shadow, but a special guest, Nebby.
Hello!
Because today I decided to try and watch a Marvel thing. And viewers of this channel, as you know, I am mostly into DC, not because I think it's better, but because I haven't tried Marvel much. I did watch Endgame once, that's a story for another day, but the point is, today I watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that happened, and okay, just to start with the basics. It's an animated thing, which I am not used to, but and I found the art style to be really interesting, I guess, what with all the comic theme going on.
Yeah, one of the things that was going in was the design process is no matter what you pause it on, it's supposed to look like a comic book page.
Yeah, I know, like, at first I thought it would just be at the beginning how he did the introduction.
Yeah.
But then it stuck with the art style. I got used to it, but there were still some times that it didn't look quite right to me, like, it works for faraway shots, but there was one part where it did a close-up of his face, and it was kind of like spotty, grainy on his face, and that didn't look so good, I guess.
Each their own.
Yeah.
What about the different art styles of, like, the different spider people?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we will explain that a bit more.
Yeah. So an interesting part of the movie is not only did we get a Peter Parker who was not quite, he was from Earth 2, I guess. I'm familiar with the whole multiverse thing, what with the Arrowverse. But then we got not only a Peter Parker, but we got Gwen, who I loved her personality. She was cool. And we also got 3 other friends. We got Anime Girl, Porky Pig, and what was the black one called?
It's Penny Parker, Peter Parker, and it's Peter Parker again, but it's Spider, which is SB//DR, Spider-Ham, and Spider-Man Noir.
Cool. So, yeah, we got a few different friends from the multiverse. Because the whole plot, the villain's whole plan was he wanted to bring back his wife and son by finding their doppelgangers, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though the whole point of the multiverse is that it's not the same them. This guy's an idiot. Also, did he not realize all the mess he was causing?
Well, you're watching The Flash. Barry Allen makes a whole lot of messes.
I know, Barry's the idiot who made the friggin' singularity at the end of season 1, which he was never forced to do that. He was like, I could just send Reverse Flash Back to the Future, or other option, I could just keep him here in the pipeline. Third option, I'm gonna go back in time and possibly save my mum, except I'm not even gonna do that. We're gonna rip open a hole in the world.
Yeah.
But enough about DC.
Yeah.
This was... I wasn't sure what I would think of the story part of it. There were some times where it was a bit iffy, but it got kind of good in the end.
Yeah, I will say there were a few instances, at least in the beginning, where if you don't know much about the Spider-Man mythos, you would probably be a bit confused on some of the relations, but
then the comic book segments did explain a lot of stuff.
But since the story does focus on someone who is new to being Spider-Man, I feel like to those who don't know, they can see themselves in the shoes of Miles.
Yeah, definitely, because he's the one reacting to everything.
Yeah. But speaking of, I guess we just keep glossing over, but characters, Miles, what did you think of him?
He was pretty good, I guess. He's got a good personality when it comes to, like, reacting to stuff and being a good person to, like, see the story through, I guess. And it was interesting with the drama with his family. It wasn't too, like, drama heavy. And then I did like the twist where his uncle was sort of one of the bad guys, but then in the end, he didn't do his job for the bad guy, and instead he let himself die for the cause, I guess.
Yeah. Well, guess this is an interesting one, though. This is your first proper introduction to Peter Parker. Like you said, you've seen Endgame, but you only really saw Pete for, like,
2 seconds.
minutes. So, what are your thoughts on Peter Parker, who's a bit more of an adult, both Peter and Peter B?
Yeah, that's the thing. We didn't see much of the original Peter. I found it so weird that Spider-Man literally dies at the beginning of the movie. But considering the whole multiverse thing, they can still probably make movies about Peter Parker Spider-Man. But they wanted to use this movie to make a story about Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing, is that you can always make different interpretations of the story. Like, I'm sure there's probably versions that have Miles and Peter and he didn't have to die.
Yeah.
Because I've heard the names before, and I always imagined it as
Partially because of me.
as sort of an apprentice type relationship.
Yeah, like, the way I've explained it, like, in the past was a sort of Flash Kid Flash sort of situation.
Yeah, definitely.
But, no, Miles originally was a replacement of Peter Parker because Peter did die in the comics. It's just, because most audiences are familiar with Peter Parker, we mostly see Peter Parker.
Yeah, when we first saw the spider, at first I started wondering if maybe it was some sort of electronic thing, like, and it made me wonder if, like, Peter had sent out, like, a robotic spider to choose his successor. He was awfully calm when he was dying, which made me wonder if, like, he knew it was going to happen or something, but probably not. That's just my brain thinking of stuff.
Well, he did catch glimpses of the other spiders when he was in the beam of the super collider.
Oh, yeah. So he probably knew it would all be okay and that there would be others coming to help.
Yeah. But, you didn't really get much of a glimpse at him, and he is going to play a major role in the sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, but,
What, the dead one?
No, Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099, he was at the end.
Oh, the guy in the end with the meme.
Yeah.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on him?
I don't know. That bit was just...
Well, it leads into the sequel.
Yeah. That's why they put that in.
Yeah.
I don't know, it felt really disconnected from the actual movie, so I didn't know what to make of that.
Well, it's good to know we're getting a sequel to see why he wanted a multiversal watch, we don't know his full deal. Remember, this was into. The next film we're going across the Spider-Verse.
Oh yeah, so maybe he's gonna journey through the multiverse and meet the people we've seen and maybe more spider people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know we've been comparing DC a lot, but
But because it's a movie, the only thing I can really compare it to is the DC movie I recently watched, which was the original Superman. I don't know if we've uploaded it yet at the point of this recording, so you haven't seen, but yeah, Shadowstar and I recently watched the original Superman.
Oh.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So, I guess on that point, what would you say the contrast is with just superhero movies to an animated superhero film, which there aren't many of, unless you count the direct-to-video DC films, and the Arrowverse?
Well, they do have the similarities of, like, they both had a sort of figuring things out point. Like, well, I don't know, because in this one, he was new to his powers, whereas in the Superman one, he'd had his powers, like, all his life. He just didn't really use them much, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is Miles' origin story. It's just, I feel like everyone hates reboots, let's be honest. I'm partial to them. Not saying I hate them, but most people don't like reboots.
That's why I've heard there's a few people that don't like the Arrowverse stuff just because it's not completely true to, like, the original stories. And me having a weird perspective of that was what introduced me to it, I don't know, like...
I'm partial to interpretation.
Yeah, exactly. Some people don't like reboots because it's not quite like the original.
Yeah. I mean, this is, like, the 4th or 5th Spider-Man films we have now. Or, like, universe of films.
Yeah.
Because we have the Sam Raimi movies, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the MCU, the Venom movies, I don't know what that name is called, and then there's the Spider-Verse movies, which, yeah, so...
Yeah, I'd definitely be open to trying one of the others, but I don't know, I don't know how different I would want it to be. Like, when I imagine a sequel to this, I would be interested in seeing more of Miles, like, growing as a Spider-Man, and, because now that Peter's gone and all his other friends, they were just kind of there temporarily.
Yeah.
He kind of has to step up and be an actual Spider-Man and be a hero in this world.
Do you care about spoilers much? Or...
Not much.
Okay, because most we have revealed for the trailer is... It's sometime after the first film. Like, Miles is a bit older, Gwen is a bit older, but he is... obviously has a few years of experience at this point, but he is going into other worlds rather than other spiders going into his world.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing more of him interacting with others, especially Gwen, because I feel like there could be a bit of chemistry there.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know what else to say about this. The story was good at times. I don't know.
I guess the simplest question is... well, I wouldn't say, do you like a Marvel now? But, like... as someone who isn't too into Marvel, per se, what would you rate it as? Because I know you... wait, did you do your solo rating, or have you dropped it? I'm forgotten.
We usually do ratings. I can't remember if we rated Superman, because movies are a lot more difficult to rate.
True. There's not much of a contrast, but... okay, just simply put... I don't know the best way,
If I had to rate it, maybe I'll go about an 8. Like, it was good for what it is, and I don't know what else to say about it. I'd definitely be open to trying some other Marvel movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna throw you into the deep end, but probably a standalone film, maybe, but...
yeah. Aside from the fact that I had no context, another thing that I struggled with Endgame was the amount of characters.
Yeah.
I definitely liked this this structure of having one main one and the others were there too, but yeah.
I feel like it also did help with at least the introduction with just the recaps. That is pretty Arrowverse-esque with the recaps.
Yeah. But with Endgame, there was quite a few main characters, like,
Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and then all the people who were brought back to life.
Yeah. But, like, during the main part of it, they were, like, split into a few different teams. Like, Thor and Raccoon Dude were in one team, and There was Black Widow and some other guy who loved each other. That's all I remember.
Yeah. And then there's me who's seen these films since I watched Iron Man on DVD, so... Yep. But I don't know what else to really talk about, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely open to more Marvel stuff at some point.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to think if I can find some more that is standalone, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm not gonna put you into the main MCU, because there's like 23 movies and different shows now.
Yeah. Like, some of them have, like, a whole big team, like
Yeah.
Endgame or, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy team. And I think I much prefer this structure of one main thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a few small ones, like the original Spider-Man movies, there's the X-Men movies. I don't know, but I'll see what's there, I suppose.
Yeah. But with that being said, I don't think there's much else to say about this. So, with that being said, we'll see you next time for possibly more Marvel and other things as well. See you next time, guys.
Bye!